just 2 games remaining in the season, Sheffield could still finish anywhere from 3rd to 7th. Even after tonight, it'll still all be up in the air. All the Steelers can do is make sure they win their games, and home to Edinburgh is about as easy as they come. The Caps have lost 10 straight and are conceding more than 8 goals a game over that stretch. Sheffield welcome back John Armstrong for his first game of 2018. He takes the place of Matthew Waugh, who's back home on compassionate leave. Liam Kirk will be on GB duty during the playoffs, and with the NHL scouts hovering, could this be his final home game in Steelers colours? Official confirmation that the Sheffield Window Centre Sheffield Steelers will be named so again next season. A great partnership that these two have enjoyed will extend for an 8th season, and their logo will continue to reside at centre ice. And it's been all Sheffield possession in the early few moments of this one. First venture into the offensive zone, moved across by Valdix. The shot gets well blocked. Still Steelers through Valdix. Back out to the point, slightly mishandled. It will be retained, sent towards goal, misses everything. Caps trying to nudge it out of the zone, they don't manage it. Valdix has got a little bit of room, plays the pass across, and it's slid in by Dowd. First shift produces a goal. The Steelers are in front inside a minute.
Well, you know, this is what we've been saying all year long, is first shifts of the game in the period, they've been a bit slow. They've come out here after a little bit of bobbly starting and passing inside their own zone, but you get Robbie Dowd in a position that you want him to be and being fed by Andreas Valdix, and then what happens, it puts it in the back of the net quickly.
Perfect start for the Steelers. Robert Dowd on the score sheet again. He's been in good form since his return from injury. It takes him to 22 in all domestic competitions, and the Steelers are back in again. Another test from McLaughlin. He's not equal to it. The Steelers have scored through Eric Neely, and they've now scored 2 inside a minute.
Well, straight off the face-off again. Just Eric Neely just beats his man to the outside, drives in hard. You'll see it here. Heads up. He's got a 3-on-1. To be fair, with Freder and Westerling there. Defenseman can only do so much there as well. Maybe come across and help his young netminder out a bit, but
Steelers go D to D. Looking to get a crowd in front of McLaughlin. They'll bounce this one into the crease from an awkward angle. Deliberate set play from the Steelers, shooting off target and trying to get the puck into the slot from behind McLaughlin's net. And then moving in, Day makes the save, and the puck just goes over the top. It was Cazzola denied. And the Caps have had a couple of good looks in the early stages of this one. That was a good stop from Day to tip it over the top. Steelers pushing again. Oh, it's a great slap shot from O'Connor. All the power and all the accuracy for a 3-0 Steelers lead.
Yeah, Brad Day comes up with a big save down the other end. He fights off a good hard shot there from Cazzola, I think it was, as you said. Steelers break it out, come right back down. It looks as though an Edinburgh netminder just a little bit off his angle there as well, but Ben O'Connor, we all know, has got a cannon for a shot, and he lets it go, and especially when he got time and space, he's able to pick pretty much any corner he wants.
It's a few times tonight that they've turned over possession as they've tried to move clear. Just invites the Steelers back onto them. Lovely from Matheson. Puck on the backhand. He tries to drag it in front, and McLaughlin wasn't having it.
Yeah, referee makes the whistle there as Matheson slides into the netminder. Nice little play up and over here. You'll see it coming through. He does a little backhand chip up and over the defenseman's stick and gives himself the opportunity right there. Nice little play up over Lawrence's stick, and then gets himself back in possession. It gives himself lots of time here, and then goes to his backhand, and good hard shot through here. Tough one on the backhand, driving across. Netminder does a good job there with his stick. Actually knocks it off his stick, so give the netminder a little bit of credit there for poking that away.
There's a mirror image of the Debian move, backhand to forehand. Left-handed shot coming in down the right wing. Plews doesn't get that one clear. There's a real battle over on the boards. First shift of the night for Kieran Brown. Plews down the boards, but not out of the zone. Sent towards Brown, takes it on the spin. Oh, and then he plays it back across. It'll find Dowd. Long shot comes through. Oh, and it took a deflection in front of McLaughlin, who was completely wrong-footed. Valdix takes all the plaudits, and the Steelers have their 4th goal and we haven't even been playing 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's good play around behind and back of the net there. It was a good play by Brown. He gets it back through the crease. As always looking for someone else, I think. Goes to Robbie Dowd, right through everybody, and then, you know, you can't fault the netminder a little bit too much there. Deflection a little bit about the hash marks. He's following the puck across. He's tracking it well, and obviously Valdix knocks it down enough and just puts it outside that left arm of his to reach and grab it.
Oh, interception for the Steelers, and this could lead to a break. Neely's moving in. He's got support from Fretter. Oh, and he's put it wide. And that doesn't happen often. Colton Fretter from that position is normally so deadly. And he was off target. Wrap around attempt. Oh, it's fallen nicely for Neely. It wasn't there for Westerling, but it's 5 anyway. And the goals continue to pour in this first period.
Well, it just shows, you know, how much tenacity that the players have. The puck retrieval is excellent. The defensive coverage is late for Edinburgh. You know, as you said, Colton Fretter missed it the first time. He had the opportunities. We see a timeout being called here.
The question of how early is too early for a timeout. 9:31 at the time of that Steelers' 5th goal, and Edinburgh are going to have a 30-second break to chat things over. Reaching out again, McLaughlin. Steelers continue to press. We're even strength, but it's got a power play feel. Dowd. Nelson. Oh, bring it out in front. Oh, try and just lift it in. It's there on the rebound. Oh, and the Steelers can't scramble it in. And look at that hit that's come through. Ferguson throwing his weight around.
I think it was Boyd that came in.
We have a Steelers player down.
Yeah, I think it was Boyd that came in and cleared house just as it came out. But a funny bounce off the boards, and Matheson actually has more time than he thinks. As you see Valdix coming in here, Plews is there, but it comes in right in here. Maybe it is Ferguson that just comes up and over and just sort of pushes the Sheffield player up and over top of the netminder. But
Armstrong doesn't have the angle to find a pass to Francilla. Wants to try and skate it away from Durazio. Comes back out. Oh, lovely slap finish. That's really nice from Mika Francilla.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems this line is going to be a nice one put back together. If they keep these three together, they cycle the puck well, they're big bodies, they work hard. A good switch off there. Armstrong's heads up all the way. He doesn't even clear the net there. You saw all it was what that cleared was his stick. Francilla read that all the way, and it's just a little bit too quick as Francilla puts it into the far side of the net.
This one's going to bounce in front of Day. He'll just steer it on its way. Assist on the goal going to Armstrong and Marquardt as Day is busy again. Oh, and it's snapped in. Finding the top corner is Banashkov. And the Caps have themselves a goal. And a round of applause from the Steelers supporters.
Yeah, it all starts in behind the net. Ben O'Connor gives Zach Fitzgerald a poor pass to get across. And then the fourth line is just scrambling against the Edinburgh team, trying to get it back. And you can see Ben O'Connor after the fact just puts his head down and skates off the ice, almost in disgust.
I think it was a couple of years ago in the Continental Cup as Marquardt takes a shot that Nottingham beat. I think was it Helio Yaka of Spain, comfortably, double figures. And in the interview after the match, Corey Nielsen was absolutely fuming, almost refusing to answer questions, just one-word answers as the Caps move in and score another. Brilliant slap shot. Trakhanoff. And the Caps have got themselves a second. It's back to 6-2.
And a bit of a bad change. Sheffield coming back the other way. The winger that was supposed to be over there went for a change, and the one coming on doesn't get there. And you got Marquardt way down in front of the front of the net. You got Arson up at the blue line, which should probably much be the other way around, you would have thought. And Edinburgh make him pay. A good hard slap shot, puts it past Day.
And Coventry have retaken the lead in Manchester. Storm 2, Blaze 3, and an equaliser early in the second period for Milton Keynes. It's Lightning 1, Flyers 1. That's you up to date with the scores around the Elite League. Another puck played in front, and the Caps are feeling good about themselves at the moment. The Steelers have got to just switch on. Kirk will help them do that. He'll drive forward. Oh, he'll play the pass on the backhand. The angle's tight, but it's found a way through. And Shudra has got his first home goal as a Steeler.
Well, it all starts down in behind Brad Day, down in front here. They close up well, and then Liam Kirk puts it away down the far end. A good pass through a seam, and Shudra puts it into the open net. As the scrambling netminder can't quite get past there, but a good job all the way. A good 200-foot goal there for that fourth line, who gave up one just before.
O'Connor. Long time without a whistle here. And here's Kirk. Dropped for Jonathan Phillips. Inside for O'Connor. Exchanging passes with Fitzgerald as the long shot goes all the way through. O'Connor sent it goalwards. Not sure if there was an additional touch, but it's beyond McLaughlin for 8-2.
And some good puck work there. You can see some pretty unselfish stuff. O'Connor ends up taking a shot on it. It's deflected out in front. It looks as though Shooter's going to get a second one here, if that goes from the replay.
Well, the goal to tell you about has gone to Nottingham. They're leading 2-1 now in Dundee. And also a goal for Milton Keynes. They're 2-1 up on Fife. Here comes Fretta. Backdoor play, lovely finish. That was so well worked. And it is a hat-trick for Eric Neely.
Nice pass there by Colton Fretta and a good backdoor drive. Good center lane drive there. O'Connor drives the D back. And right there, it's an excellent tip being harassed all the way in. Stick up in the arms, but Eric Neely does exactly what he needs to do. Just focuses on the puck and puts it into the open net with a good net drive.
Francilla with the spinorama. Steelers are trying to turn on the style. That shot is off target. The Steelers have got to be careful here as they complete a line change so they don't get called for too many men. Kieran Brown is absolutely full of confidence. Wherever he's out on the ice, whatever position, he always trusts in his abilities. Out front. Oh, and it's crept through. Dowd has got himself another one. And the Steelers have reached double figures.
A nice little play in behind the net there. Robbie Dowd gets himself into goal-scoring position. Levi Nelson just fakes like he's going out to one side, turns and sends it out the short post. Robbie Dowd gets it tape to tape as Matheson does a good job holding it up, cycles it back down below here, and you can see Levi Nelson looking right there. Good spin off by Robbie Dowd to find himself back in position. Just a bit fortunate as well. Netminder gets over, gets a piece of it, but Dowd with enough power behind it to put it in the back of the net.
Arena scoreboard is stuck on 9. The Steelers have reached double figures for the first time this season. Might be another one here. Oh, and that's saved by McLaughlin. Puck is still there, and it will be another one. It's Levi Nelson. It's 11-2. Goals raining in here. And the Steelers 11-2 in front as Nelson picks up the pieces.
Yeah, again, it's just good hard work and good retrieval of the puck. They step out, they make a good play, get a shot.
Valdix again. Sneaking in near side is O'Connor. Oh, and he's the outside of the net, and there was a little slice of room, but he couldn't make it count. Steelers keep it in the zone. Is there time for one last long shot? There isn't, but it won't matter. The Steelers had this one won inside the first few minutes. They were 5-0 up at 9:31. The final margin of victory is 9 goals. And the final home league game of the season finishes with a final score of Sheffield 11, Edinburgh 2. And Jordan McLaughlin is the Edinburgh man of the match tonight.
I think the young netminder there sees a lot of rubber, and to be fair, as we said, throughout, he made some really good saves. Was left hanging a little bit as well on a few of the goals, which weren't cleared out and not his fault at all. And to get jumped on that early and still come out and still be positive.
Liam Kirk is the player of the year as voted by the Sheffield Steelers Kids of Steel. Liam Kirk is destined for many, many great nights ahead in his hockey career. We certainly hope so. Eric Neely scored goals 2, 5 and 9 for the Sheffield Steelers, and he is man of the match tonight. And it's the biggest Steelers victory of the season. Following that 5-goal blast in the first 10 minutes, the result was never really in doubt.
Paul, I guess all you can say after a night like that is you did what you did.
Yeah, it was I mean, no disrespect to Edinburgh, and I don't mean it, but it was a training session for us today. But we played 13 forwards, 7 defensemen, and scored some nice goals. John, had his first game in 4 months, so it was good to get him a work. I'd have liked the game pace to be a little bit higher, just to test him a little bit more. We'll get that tomorrow in Manchester, we know that. But it is what it is, and we did what we had to do.
It was all over really after 55 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we went 5-0 up after 10 minutes, and the game was over, but the crowd was still fantastic, cheering all the way through, and kept the atmosphere in the building. Because sometimes, when you're losing, it can go dead by a number of goals, and when you're winning by a number of goals, it can go dead. But it didn't do that. So, and good to get the kids out there. And I've got to say, our young British players are outplaying some of our imports right now, and we're going to have Wah and Yamteen back in the lineup. We're going to have 16, imports for 14 places. So there's a lot of competition. I like that.
Is it hard for you to keep a team motivated on the bench at 5-0, 6-0?
We just kept saying, keep the pace, because we're going to have the puck 90% of the night. We know that, and when we lose it, let's go get it back, and don't get out of our defensive formation. And a couple of sloppy goals that we gave up, to be honest with you. But in fairness to the players, sometimes it's hard when you're dominating the way you are, and you've got the scoreline like you have. But we just have to draw a line under that one, David, and we're in third place tonight, and it's been a season of frustration, I think, with injuries to top players, and we've had some lack of form and inconsistency that's not put us into an opportunity to win the league. But if we win tomorrow, we finish in third, and I think that'll be, something positive to go into the playoffs. I mean, we're a team that wants to challenge for the league, but it's a tough league. There's a lot of good teams, as that's seen, and you can see how tight it is now all the way to the end. And it's never been like that. The Elite League's never been like that, since its inception. So we just got to, focus on what we need to do tomorrow against a Manchester team that's, all credit to Finna, done a fantastic job down there, and I wouldn't say overachieved, because I think that's. That sounds like I'm being bolshy. I think they've had a tremendous season. He's got some very good players down there, but we need to go in there and grind out a win tomorrow.
When I left you before the game, you were stood in this media room talking to the scout of the Buffalo Sabres. I've just come in now at the end of the game, and you're speaking to the scout of the Boston Bruins. It's been an interesting week with who we've had visit us, and it does look like Liam's going to get the draft, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, that's, there's a lot of teams that are looking at him right now, and they're asking about him as a person, and and how he is, and Liam's a model professional. I mean, he's had his A levels, and I've never let him miss a practice or a workout. He's had to work around that. So he's been at full-time college and school, and he's a great kid with a great attitude. And he's making a difference for us out there. I don't think his game's quite been where it has been the last couple of weeks, but I think that's an accumulation of everything, the pressure of it coming to a head. And as much selfishly as we would love to see him back here in Steelers colours next year, we all want him to go on and represent us and represent himself and his family in Great Britain, and go over to the CHL. I think that's what he's looking to do next year, and get drafted. And but it's the first rung of the ladder, David. It's no guarantee. We've had thousands of players over here over the years that have been drafted and got nowhere near the NHL, but he's had some attention, rightly so. He's playing in a good league, on a good team, and he's made a big difference the last 3-4 months to our club, and we wish him all the best.